Hey, first grade families and friends, this is Miss Burns here. We are in week 5, day 3 of teleschool, and here's our next math lesson. For the last couple of days, we have been jumping right into our new unit on geometry. And we started talking about defining and non-defining attributes of shapes. We said that defining attributes are the number of sides and the number of vertices that a 2D shape has. That's what tells us what that shape is. Non-defining attributes are things like color, size, and position. Doesn't matter what color a shape is, doesn't matter how big or small it is, doesn't matter if it's on the floor, where it is, on the wall, on the paper, moved around, twisted around, the position doesn't change as long as we are paying attention to the defining attributes like the number of sides and number of vertices. That's going to really help us out today as we dive into a new topic, which is really fun. It's composing 2D shapes. So we're now in 1G2, and in standard 1G2, we're going to be composing 2D and 3D shapes. This is something that you guys, my first grade friends, have done every time we've just dumped out a bin of pattern blocks on a table and said, go, play with them, make something. You're doing this without even realizing. So after viewing this video, students will be able to identify 2D shapes as flat. We're going to talk about that in just a second, as well as use 2D shapes to compose other 2D shapes. Again, this is what you guys are already doing whenever you're playing with pattern blocks. And I'm going to show you an online tool that you can use at home to be able to do that. So let's first talk about how 2D shapes are flat. Here's a chart that's showing us 2D shapes. You'll notice that next to each shape, you know a lot of these: circles, squares, trapezoids, triangles, rectangles, hexagons, a rhombus, a pentagon. Beside or below each of these shapes, we have the number of sides and the number of vertices. 2D shapes are described by their attributes, which are sides and vertices. Here's the easiest thing to remember. A 2D shape is flat like a pancake. Now, if you were one of my friends in kindergarten, you know that every time I talk about 2D shapes, I open up my hands, I put my right hand on top of my left, and I bring them down close, and I say they're flat like a pancake. 2D shapes are flat like a pancake. Those are the shapes that you're seeing on paper, on a poster. You can't grab them. They're stuck to wherever they are. That's different from 3D shapes, which we'll talk about in the next couple of days, that are tall like a building. They pop out at you. 2D shapes are what? Flat like a pancake. You got it. So now let's use what we know about 2D shapes to start composing or putting together other 2D shapes. Here's where I'm going to show you this awesome tool. Okay, so I'm inside of this tool. I'm going to drop this link, friends, into your some more. Okay, so when you're in your some more, keep in mind that your background might look a little bit different. Your teacher probably changed it. You're going to see a button that's going to say, click me to find virtual pattern blocks. If you click on that link, you're going to be brought here. This is where you're going to use pattern blocks on your tablet, your phone, your laptop, whatever device it is that you are using, which is super cool because in the classroom, we have these in bins that we can manipulate and move around. And this is giving us an opportunity to do that. So here's our job. We're going to use these 2D shapes over on our left-hand side to compose other 2D shapes. Now you must be saying, Miss Burns, you keep saying this word compose. What does compose mean? What are you talking about? Compose is just a fancy word for put together. You'll notice that I've already composed 3 shapes up here on top, all of which are hexagons. I know they are hexagons because, check this out, friends, on the bottom you have a little marker tool. It's going to let you draw. I know it's a hexagon because it has 1. I'm going to change that color. I don't like that it's red because it's going to not show up on my red. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides, as well as, I'm going to grab another color to show the vertices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vertices. Vertices is just a fancy word for corners. The defining attributes of hexagons are any 2D shapes that have 6 sides and 6 vertices. So check this out. I'm composing this hexagon with other shapes. Wait a minute. When I look at this hexagon here, this first one that I created, excuse my circling, I see a trapezoid on the top. That's this guy right here. Ooh, turn off your marker, Miss Burns. Silly goose. I see a trapezoid up here on the top, and I see a trapezoid on the bottom. How did I do that? Oh, I pulled out a trapezoid. You see that little turnaround arrow? Click on it, and you can rotate your shape. So this hexagon, this 2D shape with 6 sides and 6 vertices, is composed of 2 hexagons. I'm sorry, what did I just say? I hope you said, Miss Burns, what did you just say? That wasn't right. Silly Miss Burns. This hexagon, this shape, 2D shape with 6 sides and 6 vertices, is composed of 2 trapezoids. Let's take a look at this center one. This hexagon is composed of 2 rhombuses and 2 triangles. This hexagon, the third one on my top row, is made of composed of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 triangles. When we are composing shapes, all we're doing is putting shapes together. Let's see if we can come up with another way to compose a hexagon. Well, I know that a trapezoid on the top is going to help me out. That's what I did up here. What happens if I start sticking some triangles in here? Let's see what happens. Ooh, that fit nicely on the bottom. And then I see 2 other triangles that I think are going to fit. Let's grab another triangle. Wait, that doesn't quite fit. I'm going to need to rotate that in order to help me compose this hexagon. Rotate, move. Oh, it fits right in. Let me grab another one. Doesn't fit quite right. We're going to need to rotate in order to compose this hexagon. Slide it, and there we go. I've just composed another hexagon, but this time I've used 1 trapezoid and 1, 2, 3 triangles. Let's try another way. This time I think I'm going to try a rhombus. Let's grab a rhombus. What if I rotate my rhombus this way? Will that do anything? Oh! Friends, it fit. My rhombus fit into part of my hexagon. I want to keep going to compose this hexagon. Let me grab another rhombus. Let's see what happens. Oh, this rhombus fits right here on the bottom. Now I only have this little black space here. I actually think I see another rhombus is going to fit there. Not quite like that, but what if I rotate it? Because it doesn't matter what position this rhombus is in, it's still a rhombus. I learned that yesterday when we were talking about defining attributes. Let's slide this in. And hey, we've just composed or put together or made another hexagon. We've got one more. How do you think we can compose another hexagon? Any ideas? What do you think I should use? We've got all these 2D shapes over here. I have an idea. Let's try something a little crazy. When I started pulling my rhombuses, I dropped my rhombus. I grabbed another rhombus. I'm gonna have to rotate. Oh, Miss Burns, how are we gonna rotate? Oh, I think this is gonna fit. It's just gonna take a little bit of trial and error, trying to see what works and then fixing. When I look here at my black space, it almost looks to me like, let me get my little marker tool, which you guys can do too when you're using this. It almost looks like I can draw a line right here to divide this in half. And I've got a triangle on the top and a triangle on the bottom. Let's see what happens if I grab a triangle. Oh, Miss Burns, you did it again. Silly Miss Burns. You gotta turn off your marker, Miss Burns. There we go. Let's see if we can grab some more triangles to help us compose this shape. Oh, my triangle fit nicely on the top. Let's grab another triangle. I'm not sure that's going to fit quite right. I think I might need to rotate it. Remember, rotating or moving the position of a shape doesn't change it. That's a non-defining attribute, just like color and size. Here we go. Check that out, friends. I know that you have done things like this. when you've used pattern blocks in the classroom. Composing shapes just means you're putting shapes together to make a new shape. That's all. We were able to make 3, 4, 5, 6 different hexagons in 6 different ways. Composing shapes is just putting shapes together. Now let me show you where things get really fun. When you are in this website or app, and you come over to your left-hand side, just below the 2D shapes that you've been using is a picture of what looks like a sailboat. You're going to click on that picture that looks like a sailboat and check out all of these outlines you can use to compose different shapes. You can build a huge triangle, a huge rhombus or hexagon. Maybe you want to build different sizes of triangles or, ooh, look at this, rectangles. Look at where it gets real fun. And I know that my friends that were with me in kindergarten, you've seen these. These are kind of like pattern block masks that we've used in the classroom. You can see, let's try the rocket. Oh, rocket. Where are we going? You're gonna have to fool around with this a little bit. You could use different shapes to start filling in your rocket. I bet you that rhombus is gonna fit right in there. Okay, so go ahead when you are done with the video. I want you to do 2 things. The first thing I need you to do is, as always, below your video, click to find your assignment. This is an ELA video, but you know it's always set up the same for math. Click to find that assignment. After you do that, I want you to click where it says Find Virtual Pattern Blocks and start playing with them. Just have a little bit of fun. See what kinds of shapes you can compose as you are working. Thanks so much for joining us, friends. I hope you enjoyed this lesson and you're going to make use of this really cool website that I've shared with you. And tomorrow we're going to start talking about 3D shapes. Thanks so much, guys. See you later.